I cannot recommend chess informant publications highly enough. Despite the nature of the modern era with computing and ChessBase, you can actually receive a digital copy along with your subscription to Chess Informant and receive the benefit of all worlds. And of course, if you invest in other Chess Informant products, such as the 1000 Best of the Best, you'll be able to pick apart the annotations of the 1960s and improve your chess in that manner. I couldn't just play what I wanted to play in a position. I had to play what the position dictated. In other words, if a plan was organic to the position, it succeeded. But if I try to force my will, let's just say like the 4-move checkmate, then it cannot possibly succeed against the death of Tigran the Trojan. And on that particular Sunday, a young man walked into my establishment and told me that the world champion. Aim higher. Set your standards higher. Be better. I mean, you're aiming at a level of player that is more or less intermediate. I already made this comment earlier that players under 2400 are intermediate. So if you aim higher, aim at becoming a better player. Basically, Gotham Chess is an advanced intermediate player. He is hoping to become a grandmaster for a reason, because then he will be a real player. I would only hope to do the same thing myself, as my rating is even lower and weaker. I'm not as good as Gotham Chess yet. I am a hop, skip, and a jump above beginner. Our goal is that everyone should have an opportunity to become a better player. That is far more important than any individual win for rating points, because honestly, when you are a certain strength, the rating points just come and go. If you have a bad day, your rating returns to your true strength on the very next day. So there's no reason, absolutely no reason for anyone to be fretting over rating points or anyone getting help on any particular move when this is meant purely and entirely for training for actual real life events. Not sure how he's defending it now.
Chess Optics.
I don't think he can defend it now.
Hello.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, Chess Optics. How are you, buddy? So what is going on here? So I'm back home, and the thing with Streamlabs is that everything, I'm glad the microphone appears to be working. It's going to make sure that it's aimed at the right device. But once you travel, everything somewhat gets hiccuped in a different spot.
Said.
Hello there.
Good morning, no words. So, for example, I believe that the headset U4, I attempted to get my...
Chess Optics.
Said. I am well just made a repertoire to defeat the alien gambit.
Aren't there like 3 ways? I feel like there are 3 ways to defeat the alien gambit, just like there are about 3 ways to defeat the Stafford Gambit. It depends on what's your preference.
Chess Optics.
Said. I was tired of getting surprised by it.
I was very lucky at the start because I had a player who was playing it routinely. He challenged me for a match in this particular line specifically where we both had to play it. I should look back in my tournaments to see, in my games to see where that is. And I did very well right off the bat. Basically, it was a free piece for a little bit, and then I overthought it, and that caused me some problems. I definitely overthought it at one moment or another, and that caused me a number of problems. Let's see here. Advanced search. And let's see if I can remember who it was that played it. Opening, winner color. There should be a way of choosing the opening when you do an advanced search. Opening explore. So in any event, I highly recommend playing the Caro Kann if you know your opponent's going to play the Alien Gambit. It's definitely a free point. So knight to c3, and the reason why it's such a free point is because you know that they're going to give away a piece. This is me as white, so I had to play knight to g5. And on h6, I had to play knight takes f7, so I'm 94% as white with the Alien Gambit. Now let's check black. And I'm only 71% as black. So actually, I can win from a totally lost position. We all know that. I'm 71% as black. So let's see, was it Nefedov? Who was it? Oh, it was Final Comeback, yes. He was the one. So this is like the first time I ever was forced to really play it on a regular basis. And it was March of 2024 when I played it, and it was a 2+1 match. And now, as white, Final Comeback. Of course, I obliterated the poor guy from both sides of the board using the Alien Gambit. And all it managed to prove was that the better player would win because I had a 300-point rating advantage. And that is worth a piece, by the way. So Chess Optics, in the classroom many, many years ago, I used to have a handicap system that for every 100 points in rating, it had to be one pawn in material. So if someone was 1,000 points above someone else in the class, this really worked well in our Friday class when we had an all encompassing Swiss system, but it wasn't obviously easy for the players. But we did have players giving rook odds, and we also had at another point, not in the same tournament, it was 1 minute. It was 1 minute per 100 rating points, with the minimum being 1 minute, obviously. And the maximum was the maximum? Hold on here. So it was like some kids were giving like 8 minutes to 1 minute if there was a 700 point difference in rating.
Chess Optics.
Said. I made a story post on my Instagram with an alien tied up on a chessboard with the title saying "Tie up the alien."
Tie up the alien. Nicely done. Personally, in this position, I actually prefer the move queen to d3, as played by Alireza Firouzja. It looks a little silly, but obviously if the opponent plays knight on b to d7, you have a choice between knight taking on f6 and then transposing to the point where they can no longer play bishop to f5. Or you have a choice between just letting them have the main line. Or you can just letting them gain the tempo with knight takes and knight takes. And of course, everyone here should be aware of the all-time classic, which was e5, d takes e5, queen a5 check, bishop d2, queen takes e5, castles queenside. And this was Reti on the white side, and I believe we can't play queen takes e4 because of rook e1. So after knight takes e4, queen to d8 check, Richard Reti won the game very quickly with bishop to g5 check. It didn't matter if he went to c7. I don't know that he went to c7. I can't recall. I know that there were a number of players in remarkably similar positions that played king e8 and rook e8 as mate. But this one is the one that I like to call the Reti mate, and I think I mentioned it in a previous stream in the intro. Whoops. Where is my bullet arena. It's not reminding me that I'm in the bullet arena, unfortunately. But it is my first day back. It is several days off from the bullet arena, so I don't blame people for not coming in. And I have been tempting, as we are going to
Chess
have...
optics.
Said.
No,
I
no,
need
no.
to memorize that lol.
Don't memorize it. Basically, if you play the Caro-Kann, E5 is a very popular theme. Let's see if I can just go back to it. 1 second. If I can go back to it. Okay, well, it's not there anymore. But, so in the Caro-Kann, there are quite a number of themes, and one of them being, I believe it's in this line, where the bishop f5 line is happening. h4, h6. I think it is in this line, where e5 is a very popular move. And obviously e5 can be met by either queen a5 check and queen takes e5, or queen takes d1. So bishop e3, queen a5 check, or d takes e5, queen takes d1 in this particular line is best. In this particular line, queen takes d1 is best, but I'm trying to find the one where e5 is best. Maybe it's bishop c4, e6, knight on 1 to e2, knight to f6, or bishop d6. I think it's knight to f6. The early knight f4, bishop h7, and there's a blunder here of sorts where black gets to move e5 in this position as well. But I can't recall it. Maybe it's not this position. Maybe I'm full of it. I apologize, Chess Optics. I could just be well full of it. I can't remember to save my life. It was 20 years ago. I was studying Tal versus Botvinnik, and this line did come up. Botvinnik, by the way, found the refutation rather immediately. Whoops. In the bishop c4 line, or was it the knight e2 line? Because I think he went after these immediately, but this is still a very serious advantage for white. Knight takes g7 check. Queen to g4. All these things are coming in. This whole line is very lethal for black, which is one of the reasons why, or one of the many reasons why people don't play the classical Caro anymore. The other reason is that the Tartakower is so equal for black. I have played it only once. I've played this line only once against international master Alex Ostrovsky when I needed to win the tournament ahead of him. I was a half a point ahead of him going into the last round, and I needed a draw, so I played this line, and I locked him down, and we shook hands. And I pocketed the tournament. Very little money involved, unfortunately. It was like a weekend, one-day event where we played 3 games. I'd beaten Andrew Ng, who was maybe 2380 at the time. I had hornswallowed him with also another little bit of move opening knowledge. So for the most part, after knight f6, one cannot, under any circumstances, recommend the move knight to g3 because of h5. And I don't see players playing this. I see a lot of players playing knight to g3. But the people who are playing the Nimzovich, expecting the Alien Gambit, don't really understand this one. So I take it that you play, Damon, the... wait a minute, where am I? Good morning. Arsenal fan, Richie. What is going on with my sound? WTH. What is going on with our sound? Namaste for the
Arsenal fan Ricky.
aha.
Said. Sound is fine.
I get it. You weren't subscribed. So it is for subscribers only, the TTS. No words, by the way, is one of the is one of my all-time favorite South African moderators.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Said, oh no, lol, I got her unsub.
He is a founding subscriber of Arsenal fan Richie. Arsenal fan Richie is a founding sub. So I have more. The person that I thought I had before from Manila is, or perhaps might be having second thoughts. So which move order did you want, Arsenal fan? You wanted the Reti move order? I do have to go in 3 minutes, unfortunately, as our bullet arena has ended. It did not really happen. I should rename the whole
Arsenal
stream.
fan Ricky.
Said, the classical line, I was curious how the pieces were so well placed.
This is from Tall versus Botvinnik. I also like this line from Spassky. Spassky also played f4. And that's not quite as effective, unfortunately, but it basically stops any of this funny business here. But you can see the evaluation up there means nothing, right? So it's, first we have to weaken the white squares. Now, it's up to you whether or not you want to play knight on 1 to e2. You can see over here in my opening repertoire as white that in this particular position I've played knight f3 a couple of times for the traditional. I'm going to go to e5. And knight on 1 to e2 I've won with a couple of times. And bishop to c4 might be a little too committal.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Said, is in h3.
Yes, that's the line. We're looking for that one, right? Knight h3. I believe this is the line. In this line there is
a skill.
Said,
Hi, do you watch development?
Do I watch developments from subscribers? What kind of developments are we talking about? Yeah, this is the e5 that I was thinking of too for chess optics. I think that after d takes e5 we can go both ways. No, not like that both ways, but in this particular manner we can play queen a5, queen takes e5 check. And that's good. So yeah, it's actually worse than it used to be. This was thought to be very okay, by the way.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Said, ILL go both ways for you, John. You re an exception to my rule.
Aw, thank you, Richie.
It mean a skill.
Thanks for following.
So YouTube and Mina Skill. Thank you for being here. So what does YouTube?
Chess optics.
Said,
So this idea of playing e5 is quite common. So now let's get back to the ready move order, because that's what Damien was asking about. You don't have to memorize this line. All you have to really know is that, I'm sorry, it was in this line. If we take on this square, black is going to take back in both ways. Now you can actually see that I have played both as black, g takes f6, which I'm actually even better at. I'm not a big believer in the Tartakower system because I like to play chess to win. So I'll play
Arsenal
g takes
fan
f6
Ricky.
every day of the week.
said, GXF is so much cooler.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm going to be... I just drove back at midnight last night. I should just say, you know, I didn't get a chance to stream yesterday. I'm going to make up for it this morning. Plus, I've got such amazingly great company with Chess Optics, and I still don't have his thing. Oh, no. I know Arsenal fan has his built in. But I want to do the shout out for Chess Optics, just to make sure that everybody knows that he's on the path. I have to update so many things. I've got a long list of things to update Chess Optics. Don't worry, you're not alone in being behind on the command curve. So needless to say, in this particular position, after
Arsenal
e takes
fan
f6,
Ricky.
said. Shot you a follow CHESSOPTICSILL. Check your stream out.
Yeah, he is in Brooklyn. Arsenal fan, of course, is
Chess
recently
optics.
moved.
Said.
Arsenal fan Richie, thank you.
That's Arsenal fan Richie. Don't let the imagine. I forgot that you had a quote behind AFR. Arsenal fan. Although I don't know the last time that Arsenal fan, aka Richie, streamed. But almost everyone that I know has fallen off since COVID. There's absolutely no difference, in my opinion, between these two numbers. 0.4 difference, whether you're minus 0.3 or minus 0.7, it doesn't really matter. It matters how much energy and conviction you play the game with. So, for the most part, after that position, those are the two only legal moves. I'm black in this one, but let's see. So, Arsenal fan, just in case you missed it, Chess Optics wanted to know more about this. Prevents bishop f5 because of the discovery. And this one, but this theme is very common. And after d takes e5, it should be queen takes d3, bishop takes d3, knight takes e4. But
Chess optics.
I think
Karpov played both. I don't know that he ever played knight f6 without knight on b to d7. The Karpov-Smyslov line was almost always assuredly knight on b to d7, like the Smyslov line. I'm trying to recall. Garry Kasparov, and I was surprising John Fedorowicz with this. Garry Kasparov preferred the bishop f5 line, just going into endgames. But I will look it up. I could be wrong. I'm not saying that Karpov did not take back with both, but in any event, where were we? Oh yes, we were here in the Reti line. This is pretty logical if we're going to try to avoid all of those lines. The drawback here is that black has quite a number of moves. Whether it's knight a6, the knight takes e4, even g6 to prepare bishop f5. Black has quite a number of lines here. e5, this is all very natural. There's no reason to not understand this when we automatically have the three long-distance pieces working together in one line, and then it's all over but the shouting. We know that the queen cannot take because of rook e1, and if the knight takes, we know that this is game over. It's a little bit of understanding, I think. I try to stay away from the word memorize. If I am going to come close to the word memorize, I will use the word internalize. I need to internalize this habit, or I need to pay attention to these concepts and internalize the concepts from this particular position. Yeah, you'd think that that black was getting clobbered, but this is only a +1 advantage. Plus 1.6. In the old days, it was +1. So I guess black can play in this manner, and then we still have to possibly play knight takes f6 for our real advantage, or maybe we can bother him so much. Note the king and queen and bishop. Ugh.
Arsenal fan Ricky.
Looks fantastic.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this. This is the line that I've recommended to students. And there are three ways to play against the Petrov. Oh yeah, against the Stafford Gambit. That was the other one. So Chess Optics was working on his preferred refutation to the Alien Gambit. And that's where this conversation started. If you were late, if you were late, Richie, that was where this conversation started. It was basically Yeah, F3 is the simplest. Let's take it from the original. Let's take it from the original position, the Boden-Kierzeritsky Gambit. Basically, in this particular position, the only reason for playing this configuration with knight c3 and bishop c4 is to castle here and allow this particular setup. This is the, watch me be wrong. Let me find the opening name over here. Boden-Kizeritsky Gambit? No? Because of the move order I chose, it's not finding it. 4 knights Italian variation. That is not correct. So here you can see that black's best move, f6, and black is actually better with the second moves, right? Now imagine that we are white, right? Imagine that we are white. I just want to point out here that h6 is a very close second, even giving back the pawn. Just plain coming close to giving back the pawn. h6 is a close second. You can see that I've played this a gazillion. Oh, this is the master's database. What happened to my database? Darn it. I've never been on the black side of this, so I'm happy that it's indexing 43 players. Now let's go to the white side. And after e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, knight takes e5, knight c6. There's absolutely no reason to do this to yourself. If you really want a risky way to be different, I have had students play the Damiano defense. And even Fabiano Caruana has played this as black. And just take advantage of the pin. It's a nice solid equality.
I play d4 nowadays.
d4 is very rich. I highly recommend it. Although in this position, I follow Carlsen Nepo from the most recent World Championship match in Dubai. I had always liked the move d4, even though Magnus got almost nothing out of it against Nepo. I think it was round 1 or round 2. No, round 1 was the Marshall, where Carlsen was black, and in round 2 it was this particular Petros. In round 2 of a World Championship match, Nepo was not prepared really for e4, or at least trying to win with the black pieces, and he's playing, maybe following Karyakin's lead of just playing like a doormat and letting everyone walk over him. So for the most part, sorry about that. He did well to get a nice position from the Petrov. Yep. Where were we? Oh, we were looking at the Stafford. So I was saying there are 3 or more lines that can get an advantage here. Now, rule number 1, the main pretense here is that we just have to stop the knight from taking our pawn on e4, right? There's no bishop on c5. Black is not castled. There's absolutely nothing going on here. So we could prepare castling on the queen side if we wanted to with queen e2. And I have done that. I've basically played queen e2 in this position. I've played d3 in this position. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the more straightforward knight c3. And after bishop c5, we are going to go with h3, to be honest. And there's absolutely nothing going on here. Very often, black sometimes goes into this mode. But in general, d3, a3 to prevent queen to b4, and now black has to watch out for bishop e3. And it's all over. This is my preferred way, in run respect. And then Arsenal fan Richie wanted f3, which is also incredibly good. You can see that I've played h3 7 times. Not even sure who I lost against. Oh, Roke in Bullet. Right, I lost those games on time more than likely. I was flagged. But in any event, yeah, just h3, h5, queen f3, bishop e6, d3. There's just nothing here. Queen d7, bishop e3. Thank you very much. Notice I get to save a move on a3 if the queen's not here, because that does cause a few problems. Not that it should, but it does cause a few problems. In any event, c'est la vie.
R.
There were some lines where black can play bg4 anyways.
Yeah, but I don't think it does anything, honestly. But in general, F3, Arsenal fan Richie was talking about F3. And you can see that it's a direct transposition from the Bowden-Kazaritsky Gambit, where you could play F3. Let me just go to the Masters database. I don't think any Masters have really played this. Oh, they go with Bishop E2. Because white is ahead in development, we can just go with Bishop E2. Queen to D4, giving back the pawn. Knight takes E4. How can the Masters play like this when they should just win, right? Is that crazy? Bishop E2? Come on, guys. Seriously? Yeah, because of the idea of this, but still, I don't think that it works, even with the queen on F3, because we're playing rook takes H8. We haven't castled yet as white. And we can always return the favor if our queen's on F3 with knight to D1. So let's just say we played ace takes G4, knight takes G4 with the queen bearing down. I don't know. We don't have to ruin our pawns. So that was about bishop G4. So in this particular position, yeah, F3 is also very, very solid. Second verse, same as the first. Black is just now catching up on the memo that he has lost. And we can play D3, it looks like, A5, A4, or knight E2. Oh my god, if we can play knight E2, this is just ridiculous. So if we wanted to, we can play the straightforward thank you very much. But to stay a pawn ahead, we should probably just play D3. And I'm not sure what this is all about, to tell you the truth. I'm just not sure what that's all about. So in other words, D3, we have plenty of other choices here, but I am concerned. Is F3 really as effective as H3? I think H3 and Queen F3 is the easiest. In any event, Stafford, Alien Gambit discussions, all well and good. Namaste, gentlemen. Thank you for being here. I do need to roll the ending credits, unfortunately.
Arsenal fan Ricky
said. H3 is objectively best, but a little bit more dangerous if you make a mistake.
Arsenal fan Ricky
said. Take care, good to see you.
Objectively best, indeed. But I think that if you make a mistake, everything is fatal. I was just thinking, I was behind.
Chess Optics
said. Peace.
Let's see who we have here. Cheers and ciao, everyone. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to roll the ending credits really quickly. Lizzie has been playing chess in the past couple of weeks. I'm going to give her the love. I was looking around. Ornikar 2, good to see him streaming, updating Lee Chess as we speak. Richie, namaste for the sub. Thank you, buddy. Love you all. I'll be back tomorrow morning. YT, Miniskill, thank you for the sub on YouTube. Follow, I think, on Twitch. I'm not sure which one is which. But anyway, have a great day, everyone. Cheers and ciao.